Ellarigu namaskara. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you think about Bangalore? I know two of them come up, but it's our climate. Yes, the traffic is a nightmare, but we still have that classic Bengaluru weather. Although I have to admit that we are holding on to it by a thread. The city that I saw growing up, the lake city, the garden city, has gone from housing 5 million people to a global hub of 15 million in just 2 decades. That kind of growth comes with a price. It has an impact on our climate and our health. When I talk about how I work in the climate space, people want to know more about it. For me, it's been this 10-year journey learning about the climate crisis and the science behind it. My journey has had its ups and downs, from forming partnerships with the Dutch government and a pilot with a global water company, and to the day-to-day struggles of what to eat and what I wear, all keeping the climate in mind. Is it worth it? Yes. It's like suddenly people are seeing this trillion-dollar market opportunity, the carbon markets in 2023. I really believe that with the right tech, climate action can be made accessible, accountable, and available for everybody. In the famous words of Al Gore, our air and water, fundamentals to life for Earth, are treated like open sewers. It's almost ironic that we're discussing the climate crisis on the foothills of Nandi Hills, which is a biodiversity haven, the birthplace of 5 rivers, one of which, Arkavati, long nourished Bangalore city. Unfortunately, now it's too polluted to use for drinking. Our air, too, is toxic. Indian cities occupy 39 of the top 50 cities in the world with the worst air quality. Right? We've been talking about health a lot today, and it's shaving off 5 years on average of every Indian's life. We are wrapping ourselves in a blanket of pollution that is getting thicker by the day. It is turning up the heat up to unlivable levels. And the Earth has been paying the price for far too long. It's not all bad news. We have a solution for this in the carbon markets. And it's a crucial component of climate action. Imagine a game similar to Monopoly. How you buy buildings and railways in Monopoly, you can invest to make these climate projects. A good climate project can earn you carbon credits. You can trade these carbon credits with other players. The goal is to get rich while taking care of our Earth. Consider the case of Tesla, a really good player. They are raking in more than $2 billion annually just by the sale of carbon credits. Closer home, our Delhi Metro has earned about $3 million. This is merely scratching the surface because we are off to the races now. We're looking to double the total size of the carbon market in the next 5 years. Here's the thing, like a lot of businesses in India and globally don't fully understand the concept of carbon markets and carbon credits. But everybody has promised to become net zero. But now come the unanswered questions. The biggest challenge is transparency and accountability in the system. We need to get people to trust that this is the way forward. And our global community is very diverse. Everybody's making promises on their own fronts, right? Promises need to become policy. We've also spoken a lot today about digital transformation, digital infrastructure, and technology. And that is a crucial component of how carbon markets will be taken to the next level. I see how leveraging technology, using satellite data, aerial surveys, and with other ground measurements, we can make a single source of truth for every carbon project. I do this with my teams every day. We use this data using ecosystem models and climate models to make a system that is more transparent so businesses can navigate them. In all of our ProClime projects, from planting mangroves on the coast to sea grasses in shallow seas, to technology-based solutions like faster renewable energy transition and material innovation, we maintain one clear focus. Projects should be measurable, pay attention to the biodiversity crisis, and involve all stakeholders. You cannot cut down a forest to build a solar farm or plant one type of trees in a grassland by kicking out the local communities. This is how we avoid a carbon-only lens. We see the temperatures rising with the rising emissions factor as well. We are in a rapidly changing climate crisis, and we are reminded weekly of how this impacts our climate and our economy. and our lives. The way forward is clear. Everyone is promised net zero. But two numbers are very important for this. 1.5 degrees, it is the limit for our temperature. That's the operating limit. And we need to allocate 2% of global GDP into climate investments so that we avoid a climate catastrophe or a breakdown. Mobilizing capital has also other benefits. There are a lot of people moving into the climate space, finding work in climate space. I'm one of that exhibit. I see a future that is aligned with the climate, within our planetary boundaries. The era of doom and gloom thinking is over. It's about making climate profitable now. This is a call for all individuals and organizations to invest in carbon projects, invest in climate projects, being part of this game. Because the ultimate prize here is a thriving Earth, one that continues to nourish and sustain us for generations to come.